Hello and welcome to the weekly update for July 9th. We are in week 1 of That Time I Was Reincarnated as a Slime. So if you're relatively new to Alchemist Code and this is your first collab, like say you joined sometime after the Shield Hero collab, then it's a little bit of a different experience than the normal event updates that we get. Not everything is going to be available at once. It's going to be rolled out week by week with the other units coming out later, as well as other maps, that kind of thing. So usually week 1 will focus on like the protagonist unit, that kind of thing. So as far as the protagonist goes, he exists in 2 forms: the free unit, which is the slime version, and then the gacha unit, which is the human form. And then there's a memento for him and the upcoming unit Benimaru as well. As far as what's new, the collab quest itself comes in the form of a box event, the boss of which I'm currently fighting at the moment. And then there's a few other miscellaneous maps that we'll get into later on when we take a deeper look at the content. But I have to say, it's been fun to play so far. And as far as obtaining the gacha human form Rimuru goes, I think he's a pretty easily obtainable unit. So even though in my last video I expressed some concerns about the collab and the units getting power creeped, potentially fairly soon from now, on the plus side to that is it's possible to get at least one of the characters by spending very little gems. So that I think that kind of helps mitigate that situation. But yeah, let's go take a closer look at the content. Okay, so first things first, there is a challenge board for the collab that will give you a 25 soul shard selector. So this 25 shards combined with the 25 you can get from using the unit as a mercenary, combined with 25 you can get from doing the boss event and getting the coins, combined with the Louise shop, makes the transmutation path really easy if you want to go that way. And then we'll talk about the alternative to that when I do the banner overview. So as far as the special events go, the main thing is going to be found in here. And there's also the Fierce Battle quest. So as always, I always recommend doing the Fierce Battle. Do every difficulty because you'll get a decent amount of gems for each level. And then once you've done all of them once, I recommend just farming the hardest difficulty setting if you're able to, especially if you're able to auto repeat it, because those gold coins you can use to buy reliefs, and reliefs make the world go round. So for the collab event itself, pretty typical. If you remember, if you were here, last week for Genesis and you're new, then it's the same thing as that. Nothing new here. It's a little bit, in my opinion, easier than some of the other contents that we've gotten of a similar nature, just because even though they must have scaled it up a little bit to be more Gate 6 relevant, there's still, we have access to units that they wouldn't have had access to originally, like Raftalia is pretty good against lowering res of the boss, that kind of thing. So not too challenging. Very definitely new player friendly overall. Like if you're brand new, it might be a little hard to get going at first, but in all honesty, like since this is around for about 20 days, you could make a lot of progress in that 20 days. And then as far as obtaining the gears go, you can always have somebody carry you in multiplayer. I always try and look out for people that say help or something or carry in the text and, try and do my part. As far as other events go, there's a couple of things I want to cover because there is a rune farming quest that I think everyone should do because it's just a real easy way to get a bunch. It's very RNG. The first time I did it, I got a ton of 5 stars. The second time I got like 2. So there is that, but it's faster and easier. The only hard part is you probably have to go in and clear out your seal slots because they fill up really fast. Oh, geez, I need to do that before reset tonight, too. Anyway, there's also the EX quest for Rimuru's weapon. So you're going to want to get this if you're going to use the weapon. But it's pretty easy as far as EX quests go. Because collabs bring in a lot of new players. So I think to a certain degree they have to be more new player friendly. Because that's just part of the deal. And I don't know if you noticed in the gift box, but there's like a ton of like just new player campaign stuff. So definitely a good time to be new because you have a lot of options for rerolling if you are inclined to reroll. And then you also just get a ton of units for free. So you could end up way more ahead of where you would be if you just started brand new on just a normal week. So gotta love collabs for that reason. So that is it for maps. But I don't always do this, but I would like to go over the shop a little bit because I think there is some noteworthy things in there, especially if you are on the newer end of the spectrum. So this TAC campaign shop has this unit 150 soul shard selector. And if we're to take a look at it, it's mostly just regular normal pool units, except it's got Templars and it's got the Babel limited characters. So if you are just in a rush to get one of these people, like say Letitia, like if you do not have Letitia, then this could be a good use of gems because you could get her right away and then just be on your way to getting her leveled. Or if you already have some of these units, like say the Templars, but you are maybe close to getting a gate 2 or a gate 5 or something like that, this could be an easy way to do that. So I definitely think for the Babel Limiteds and for the Templars, this could be worth it depending on what your situation is. But overall, that is about it for the content. So let's now take a look at the banners. Okay, so first things first, there are some free banners not pictured here. You should do all of them, especially the gem return. Do the gem return before spending gems on anything, because just free gems is always really nice. You know, if you can go all 4 steps, then that is great. If not, just go as far as you can. And if you're really close, then maybe hold off on spending your gems until you can hit that marker and then get, you know, because that last step, you know, it's minimum 3,000 free gems. I was lucky, a little bit lucky. I got slightly above the minimum amount each time. But, you know, that's usually how it goes. But for this paid banner, I would just say that's a very easy skip. No matter what your spending level is, I just don't think it's worth paid gems at all. Too many normal pool and or 3 times a day farmable stuff. Not worth the money. There's a 3-step unlimited for Rimuru. But I don't think it's that great. I think if you want to get him, I would say either this 9-step where you get him on step 5 or transmuting him if you want to do it really cheaply. But this is already not too bad because you've already got 2 of the steps automatically discounted. I'm assuming you can't use discounts on the full price steps. But nonetheless, not too bad if you want to go for him. I don't recommend this banner at all, even if you're new. It's just too much normal pool stuff, not worth the gems. This one could be worth your discount tickets if you are not really interested in the collab at all, especially if you're free to play and you just want to try and get some limited units. Then I could see this being worth your while. You could do 4 steps for 2,000 gems, so that's not too bad. There is a collab style memento banner for the new memento. If you are going for Rimuru and you really want this, then this is the way to do it. It's kind of nice that you get summon coins to which you could buy otherworldly enlightenment shards, which I always like when they do that, even if it's not a huge bonus. At least it's not a 9-step. I will say that I don't think this memento is nearly as vital as the Shield Hero one was. Like, if you wanted Naofumi and Raftalia to be, like, top-tier units, you needed to get that, and you needed to get it max limit broken. In the case of this one, a damage boost, a noticeable speed boost, and then a decent nuke with conditional damage as far as Rimuru goes. I think that if you want to enjoy the unit, I don't feel like you have to get this, or that he's unusable without it, because at least my initial impression of him is that he doesn't need it. It's just nice to have. So there's also a kind of interesting banner that is similar to the above one with units, which I said was an easy skip. This one may be worth your while depending on your situation with normal pool mementos. Because if we look at the pool here, there are some very good mementos in here, be it Zahar's or Judith's or I don't know, a lot of the Templar ones are really, really good, especially the newer ones, like you can get Veers in here. So you can pick, if there are 6 normal pool mementos that you really want to get, might be worth your while if you're not preoccupied with other stuff. But yeah, that is about it for the banners. Everything else is old. So next up, I am going to do a little bit of summoning. Okay, so as far as the summoning goes, I just want to recap it because the raw file of it was like 8 minutes long, and I just didn't think it was entertaining enough content to be worth just watching step after step after step. Save you, so we'll just kind of cut through it as I'm narrating it, to kind of show the highlights, of which there are not many. Well, there's one really. So went after Rimuru and didn't get him until step 5, but I have him now. And then I decided to use 2 discount tickets and see if I could pull any units I didn't have, or 100 shards of any good units from the Enlightenment Limit Break Festival thing. And I got 100 shards of Zheng Yi, and that was it. And that was on step 1, so I'm not even going to show after that because it's just boring old normal pool units. So that is it for the weekly update. I hope for those of you that wanted to get Rimuru, it was as painless as possible. And I look forward to raising him and seeing exactly what he's made of. And with that, I will see you all next time.